always on my mind. Seeing in my eyes won't let me sleep when I lay down at night. I'm addicted to the thought of you.
Howdy y'all, welcome back to another video. In today's video I'm going to be teaching you how to do herd management. If you wouldn't mind, go to my YouTube and sub and follow the TikTok. I'd really appreciate that. Alright, let's jump into it. Okay, so starting off here, there's a concept. So for the moose guide I showed y'all, how to like set up the whole Yukon thing, but I didn't do herd management in that video. So for this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. So herd management is pretty simple. You have two concepts. You have your main zones and your exterior zones. In my moose guide, I showed you how to set up your main zones. It's the same way as always. Find all your drink zones and all that. But I'm going to teach you how to set up your exterior zones so that you can have more diamond spawning and have herd management set up. So you can do this with any type of antlered deer in the game, or deer in general. You can't do it with predators, though. I just want to keep that in mind. You cannot do it with predators. It doesn't work the same way. But basically, so as I showed y'all in the Yukon video, it's the same concept. Find all of your zones. For whatever map you're on, whatever you're hunting, just go ahead and find all of your zones. For Revon Tule Whitetail, you're gonna have zones on every lake besides anything down past this point. I think this zone right here is probably the lowest point that I have a drink zone. Everything below that is just not gonna have, you're not gonna have any drink zones. So all these lakes up here. But y'all probably understand that by now, finding all your zones. If you don't, head to my other TikTok video or YouTube video, Moose Great One Grind for Yukon Valley. That will explain exactly how to do all that. This is herd management specifically. Okay, so now on whatever map you're on whatever animal you're hunting, go ahead and have all your zones found. Okay, all of your zones should be found. Go ahead and grab yourself 16 tents. Get 16 tents in your, or as many tents as you can hold. Just make sure you have 16 bought. You can have less than that. If you can't afford 16, that's okay. It's just going to take a little longer. But what you're going to want to do is, with your 16 tents, go out and find 16 zones. Like, I'll do one here. Like, you can do one there, do one here, do one here. It's nice if you can find a zone like this where it has the outpost and it has 3 zones next to it. So you could put a tripod here and a tripod here and hunt 3 different zones at once. Those are the best. You want to get all of your zones. Every single one of your zones is going to have to be shot at some point. But for right now, just find 16 of them, set 16 tents. Okay, now once you have all of your zones found and 16 tents set up on 16 different zones, you're going to want to go ahead and start rotating. And as you rotate, you can pick 8 of those zones to be your main zones, but you don't have to rush it. Just, you know, take your time. But if you come over here to this zone and you're like, oh, well, this zone's really nice. Like, I like how this zone looks. The area's nice and stuff like that. I want this as main zone. Then make it a main zone. Just write it down and make sure you remember. Again, with your main zones, you want to make sure you have at least 2 females, 2 males. Anything less than 2 females or anything less than 2 males is not going to work out. So just don't even worry about it. It can have 4 females and 4 males, 3 males, 4 females. It's fine, just as long as it's not any less than 2 females, 2 males. But yeah, let's say you made this a main zone. What you do, and the difference between your main zones and exterior zones, I'm going to explain that to you right now, is that on your main zones, it doesn't matter what you shoot. You can just shoot no matter what the level is, shoot the buck. Don't shoot the female. Never shoot the females. Never shoot a female on your Great One Grind. Ever. It'll mess everything up. But for like a main zone, I would just shoot my bucks. Now, if you spawn a diamond whitetail on one of your main zones for whatever you're hunting, if you spawn a diamond on that main zone, I know it's going to be hard, but just leave it. Leave the diamond. And I'm going to tell you this because when you're shooting down your exterior zones, and I'll explain what shooting down means here in a second, it makes it a lot easier to shoot down your exterior zones when you have diamonds on your main zones. Okay, and I might have already said this, but I just want to make sure it's clear because I'd like for this to be as clear as possible. Your main zones are the zones you're going to do your grind on. So when you see streamers or YouTubers like rotating through tents and shooting deer constantly, that's their main zones. That's what they call their main zones. those you're going to have 8 of on your map total. 8 zones are going to be your main zones. Everything else would be exterior. You should have, for this map and whitetail, you should have about 52 exterior zones, but for every species is different when it comes to that, except these guys aren't here. So just be aware of that. But yeah, a main zone is like your shooting zone, like you're gonna shoot on it when you're grinding. Your exterior zones is what I'm about to explain to you and show you right now. Okay, so this is an exterior zone for me right here. I have 3 very small bucks, as you can see, level 2, 140 to 181, very small little dudes here. And over there I have the same thing, just more small, really small deer, really small bucks. That is what you call an exterior zone. So when you're doing your 1610s all over your zones, you're going to want to shoot down all of your zones like this until they're really small bucks like this. How you do that is, let's say there's a big buck, a pretty big buck, level 2, big level 2 or level 3 in this zone over here. This is an exterior zone for you. You're just going to want to shoot it. That's all you got to do. Shoot it, come back later, and come back through your next rotation, and if it respawns as small like that or like this, and now all of your bucks are like that, you've shot down all your bucks like that, you can leave the zone. That's what shooting down is. So you come to your zone and you're like, oh, that's a pretty decent buck right there. I have to shoot that down, or stuff like that, until they're all really small like this. All your exterior zones need to be small. That's the same for all species, all type of deer that you're doing herd management on and stuff like that. So this would be an exterior zone right here and right there. Exterior zone. So when you're setting up when you have your 16 zones, rotating on them, and you pop up to an exterior zone that you want, like you're like, okay, I want this to be an exterior zone, maybe because there's too many trees on the way, or I just don't like it as much as the other ones, whatever. You're just like, okay, there's a pretty decent buck right there. I've got to shoot him. Come back later, see if he's small. Oh, that buck is small. Okay, that's good. I leave that on there. That buck is too big. Shoot it. Whatever. Till they're all really small. Small is in like, I'd say nothing above like a 190 probably, or 200 scoring. Just you can also just look at the rack and see like that guy's obviously a puny little dude. That guy's puny, like, you know what I mean. And just leave him. And just that's basically an exterior zone. You just shoot them down until they're all really, really small buck, and then once they are small buck, pick up your tent, move it to a different zone. So like for example, came here, all my bucks are small. I would pick up my tent and maybe I'd move it to this zone, or move it to the next zone, or whatever zone's not shot down. And I would do that till all of my other zones besides my main zones are shot down. Okay, let's say you're pulling up on a main zone, one of your main zones that you chose. It doesn't matter what you shoot. You can shoot, or obviously it matters, but like you can shoot any of these bucks and be fine. Just if you have a diamond on that zone, I would leave it, because it's going to make shooting those other exterior zones down a lot easier, because the respawns would be a lot more small if there's diamond on the map. So I know it's hard. I struggle with leaving diamonds, but just leave them there until all of your other exterior zones are shot down. Once those are all shot down and you only have your 8 main zones left, then you can shoot your diamonds and go from there. But yeah, that's pretty much the concept of herd management. Okay, I'm going to do a quick summary here so that it's simple. Get on the map that you're doing your grind on, doing herd management on. Find all of your zones. Make sure you have every single one of your zones. You can look up hot spots or like total zones or whatever to find out how many and where all your drink zones are. Set up 16 tents on 16 of different zones on that map. Shoot down, pick 8 of them to be your main zone. At any time, just go looking around your zones, all the zones on the map, and just figure out which 8 you want to be your main zones, which are the easiest to hunt on, easiest and quickest to set up on, and then pick those as your main zone. All the other zones that are not the 8, go ahead and just shoot them down as I explained earlier. Shoot all the big bucks until they're really small. Respawn is really, really small bucks, and then pick it up, move it to a different zone, and do the same thing over again. Your 8 main zones, you just shoot regularly. You just shoot small, big buck, doesn't matter. But if you spawn a diamond on that main zone, leave it. It'll make you spawn it or shooting your exterior zones down a lot easier. that is basically the summary. Once you have all of your other zones shot down besides your 8-man zones, you can go ahead and pick up all of your tents, and have pickup tents on your main zone. So one tent where you spawn into, about 250 meters away from the zone, and then another tent right on top of them. Mine's like in there somewhere, to where when you shoot them, you can pick them up. And then boom, you have your 8-man zones, and all of your other zones are shot down. You're officially doing herd management. You will see more diamonds during your Great One grind, and probably have a lot more fun because you're getting more diamonds. I noticed a huge difference. I got around 100 diamonds, probably roughly 100 diamonds off herd management during my Great One grind. I have 5 Great Ones. Yeah, I've gotten most of my diamonds off herd management. It works incredibly well. So yeah, that's exactly how you do it. Super simple, super easy. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. I will answer all the comments. If you need a more in-depth detail on something, let me know. And I'm going to be doing a beginner to Great One guide where I'm going to show you exactly how to open up the game for the first time and get to your first Great One. If you guys would like to see that, please drop a like and tell me in the comments so I can have some motivation to actually post it. But yeah, thank y'all for the support. I love y'all so much. I will see y'all in the next one. Deuces.